Yeah.
that's where like that's what we want to see Mercedes taking risks on that end. Like
Yeah.
just take risk of potentially blow up your engine or but just take risk.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of F1 Talk. I am Sherif, and I'm
I'm
joined by
Joe.
Joe. And
How you guys doing?
hopefully everybody's doing good. We had a very interesting Mexican GP, but before we talk about that, we want to welcome all of our new subscribers, and please remind you to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end
Please,
of the year.
please.
And we promise we're going to do a giveaway. We bought the stuff for a giveaway like months ago
A long
now.
time ago. Yeah, 2 months ago at least.
Yeah. So please click the subscribe button. It's free. If you've been watching us and you're not sure if you're subscribed, double check it. YouTube does legitimately sometimes unsubscribe people, and we
Just-
don't want you
just
guys to
click-
miss out.
Just click the button, man. Just click
Yeah.
the button.
Please. So let's get into the Mexican GP, right? Definitely an interesting race. You have the higher altitude, the thinner air, and we had Verstappen, followed by the Silver Arrows, followed by Perez on the start, you know?
Star, yeah, and then
Now,
followed by Ferrari, which is Ferrari is not. It's not like doing well this on this race. Yeah,
and that's definitely a surprise. I mean, I feel that the low air density didn't suit their cars, you know.
yeah.
And I think we'll see Ferrari kind of come around in the next couple of races.
Next few races, yeah.
But really, definitely, the environment hasn't been suiting them between Austin and well,
Yeah.
Austin's not fair because Austin did suit them. It's just Russell kind of took out signs.
Yeah. I mean, I think he got a penalty, right? Like,
yeah, he did.
yeah. So, yeah,
But
yeah.
so I mean the whole, you know, like the opening lap, surprisingly drama free. Russell didn't crash into anybody, you know, and Hamilton, I have to say, did a very impressive overtake actually on his teammate to get into P2.
Yeah. Like I think his reaction time is just slightly faster than Russell, and ultimately that got him into the inside line, and then it got him to the S's, and then he ultimately overtook Russell, and then climbed up to P2 from P3.
Yeah.
So, which is nice to see that Russell got kind of educated by Hamilton.
A little bit. Like, yeah. Well, I think it was Peter Windsor who was saying that, like, Russell is an incredibly capable driver, but he lacks a little bit of the softness of the inputs that the more experienced Lewis Hamilton has, you know?
That's always the key. Hamilton has experience on, I mean, he make mistake, but before that, like, for longest time, he was a machine, driving machine.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't really, like, very rarely make mistake. And
very rarely, yeah.
You can see his input of the throttle input, the brake input, the steering input is very soft. Very soft.
Yeah, surprisingly for such a powerful machine and such an aggressive driver, you would think he's much more aggressive on with the car. And that aggressiveness or lack thereof, I feel really played into the race in terms of tire strategy, you know. That's the thing. If we can say anything about the Mexican GP was it was a race predominantly determined by the tire strategy. If nothing else. And it was very interesting to see because Pirelli basically had predicted that the soft to medium was the fastest versus, the medium to hard being the fastest. And the two-stop strategy should have been overall the fastest. Now, it didn't quite play out that way consistently, except for Max Verstappen.
This guy, man, he carried that medium to the end.
Yeah, like to Verstappen's credit, boy, like, he had the advantage of being in clean air with nobody really putting massive pressure on him. I mean, Hamilton got within 1.5 seconds of him pretty consistently,
Yeah.
But that's not close enough to really put hard pressure on the kid,
Yeah.
But for him to carry a medium...
they're kind of just not there. But this time around, I think it's one of their best chances to win a race if they didn't screw up the tire strategy.
Yeah, you're talking about Mercedes, right?
Yeah,
100%, 100%.
Because when you see Hamilton having that medium on behind Max, it's consistently 1.92 seconds throughout the lifespan of that tire.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is if they, for some reason, I don't know why Mercedes decided to put hard on the car.
Well, honestly, I think that they were hoping. Okay, so what we saw was like, okay, if you look at Verstappen versus Checo, right? Same car, same team. Checo is not as good at managing the tires as Max is, right? Yeah. So they did see Checo come in for the second pit stop, But having said that, Checo was also doing a lot more battling,
With Hamilton,
with Russell, and then he was trying to catch up to Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
So, they were thinking that Verstappen would have to come in and pit, down the road. And they should have known that given Verstappen's ability and the fact that he had no direct battles, that he could manage those mediums till the end,
and also their car is faster.
It is.
With the speed with that medium tire. I don't there's no way in the world that Mercedes can catch up with them with that hard tire.
With the hard tire, yeah. So
I just feel like
it was a conservative strategy on their part.
Yeah,
really,
it's I was just gonna say, so German, man, so German.
Yeah, in a way, yes, you're right. Yeah,
like they have during FP1 at free practice sections.
Yeah,
they had that tire, they have that data of that hard tire data.
Right,
running on the track. But that's why they but they don't have that medium tire running on the track as the data. So
right,
that's why they put the hard tire on.
The hard in FP1 and then the soft in FP3.
Yeah,
right?
So I for them and it's just for Red Bull, they're willing to take risk of trying new things, trying new strategies, trying to win.
Yeah.
But for Mercedes, the team, they don't want to take risks because they feel like
conservative.
Yeah, there's no data. That's the thing. But also for Red Bull, there's no data, but they're willing to take the medium to the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, they trusted their driver in a sense.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what you should do as a team. You have to trust. Come on, man! If Max can do it, I don't see. I'm pretty sure Hamilton can do it too.
100%.
He's a tire master. He's a tire master. We've seen through in and out, throughout the season.
How many years now have we seen Hamilton stretch the life of any tire that he's been given? Yes, he'll come on the radio and spread some disinformation. He'll be like, oh, no, the tires are going. And then he gets 10 more laps out of the tires. You know, like come on.
Like, hey, Bruno, the tires are gone, man. The tires are gone.
Yeah.
And then fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest
Right,
lap.
exactly.
Yeah, which is like he can... Like, if you give the medium tire to Hamilton, I mean, the chances of winning will be
much higher. Yeah,
much higher. Yeah, much higher. So
absolutely.
And even Russell said the hard tire is not the right choice. Russell.
Yeah, Russell was trying to find any excuse to come in and pit.
Like, can we put a soft on?
Yeah. Serious, man.
So, like, if one guy is complaining about a tire, then that's probably conservative. But two of your drivers are both complaining about the same thing, and then you're still putting on that tire on. You have to listen to your drivers, man. Just, for God's sake, just once in your life, just listen to Hamilton or Russell or
You know, that's the thing.
Let them race.
Yeah, and that's exactly the thing, right? Like, Hamilton is such a team player. He's not going to sit there and like yell at the guys over the radio. You know what I mean? And be like, no, you're wrong, blah, 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 right? Like, the reality is, though, he was right from the get-go. You know, they needed to be on the mediums. And as you said, even for Russell to kind of be like chirping on the radio saying like, hey, listen, like, I don't think we're on the right tire. You know, you need to sit there and potentially reevaluate your strategy. And when the virtual safety car came out and
you got a free pit stop.
Yeah, they could have had a free pit stop, get on the mediums, and then lean on them, you know, till the end of the race. Like, it really didn't make sense for them to run the race so conservatively, you know, on some level.
I mean, at this point, at this stage of the season, there's nothing to lose. You should just go all out. Thank you. Because you already lost.
Thank you.
The championship title. And
right? They're trying to get at least one podium.
Yeah, why not just let them race? Let Hamilton do his thing.
Right.
So that's that's our concern, our perspective.
No, but dude, you're totally right. Like, if they're so concerned about showing that they've made progress, they're trying to get at least like one P1, why run conservative at this stage?
Yeah. I mean, this is just so German.
Yeah, like it really does feel that way. Like, dude, guys, like, I hate to say it, Mercedes, like, get some balls a little bit, guys. You know, like, take some chances, do some things that aren't data based, you know, and are more feeling based, and like, go for it.
Like, I feel like last year's Mercedes is willing to take risk.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Because if you see Sao Paulo, if you see the last few races, Mercedes take risk by getting Hamilton a new ICU.
Right.
And then running from the back, and then having that boost, and then just charge after lap after lap after lap.
Yeah.
That's where, like, that's what we want to see Mercedes taking risks on that end. Like, just take risk of potentially blow up your engine, but just take risk.
Yeah. No, and that's really what the race became, you know, was like, you know, just the tire strategy, right? You had, you know, really to like recap it, you had Red Bull who, you know, went for the faster tire strategy. They relied on the fact that Verstappen was going to be out in front and he would be able to manage the tires, right? And Checo, even if he couldn't manage the tires to the same level, he was still going to be at least high enough to podium, you know?
Yeah, at least get a point.
Right, which he did. I mean, he ended up getting P3, right?
Yeah.
And then you had Hamilton and Russell, who are on a more conservative tire strategy, and Hamilton really had to wring the life out of the car, in order to hold on to P2. Russell couldn't even fight back against Checo and maintain his P3. He dropped down to P4, you had those two positions could have potentially been a step higher each. You could have seen Hamilton battling for P1, and you could have seen, Russell taking P3.
P3, yeah. So, and also what I wanted to say is they have to listen to the drivers a lot more, because
agreed.
If you see Hamilton's performance, I mean, he has a problem with his engine in this race, and he can still be a P2, and he can still make a right call.
Yeah.
Then that tells how experienced Hamilton is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In that car, in the race, and in throughout the weekends.
Yeah.
So you got your guy trying to fix problems. You got your guy trying to get wins, and he's telling you the right thing to do. Give me these tires, I will win the race. Basically, that's what his attitude is.
Yeah.
And no, they are still relying on the data. Sometimes data is not good enough for this type of stuff.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Listen to the drivers. Listen to the drivers. Trust your drivers. That's what Red Bull do. Trust Max.
Yeah.
They trust Max.
Yeah, 100%.
Mercedes needs to trust Hamilton. Consistently.
That's the thing, right? Why wouldn't you at this stage? I mean, the guy is a 7-time world champion. He's been driving with Mercedes for how long now? The guy knows his job.
It's to carry Mercedes to win another champion, to win more champion. So
again, the thing that
7 time.
The thing that it just every time we talk about, especially the last 2 races, I still remember Jackie Stewart and I can't remember who else, who were saying that Hamilton needs to retire. Hamilton, should tuck his tail and get out of F1, and it's no,
man. He is how many times have you seen him? I mean, not a lot of times, but how many times have you seen him battling for podium?
Yeah.
Consistently battling for the podium, to be honest.
Man. No, once Mercedes started to get the car sorted, towards the second half of the season, Mercedes and Hamilton have been consistently moving up the places,
Yeah, but that's a double-edged sword. For me, I feel okay, I kind of understand why they want to put the hard tire on, to gather more data for the car, to make more developments of the car next year. But again, this is how many races do we have? 3 races, 2 races left, and then you got nothing to lose. Just try new things.
yeah, exactly.
Try new things. Yeah.
They could have gotten data on the medium tires by putting them on in the race.
Yeah, they could also got data from taking risk, because you were surprised. You will be surprised what type of data you can get by putting your car on the limit.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, speaking of on the limit, actually, I know we didn't discuss this beforehand, but Daniel Ricciardo was on the limit throughout the whole race.
He took Yuki Tsunoda out.
Yeah, dude. I don't remember. Did he end up getting a penalty for that? Because
10-second penalty.
Okay, yeah. I was kind of occupied during that time, but I saw that.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if for Sherif, but for me, it's nice to see Daniel Ricciardo do something that he is supposed to do. You're Formula 1 drivers, you need to push the car. It's nice to see him do some overtake and do some driving that we haven't seen for more than a few years now.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I brought him up, because I have very consistently been a Daniel Ricciardo critic, right?
Yeah.
The guy has always talked about, oh, I'm such a good driver. Oh, I should be like in contention for the championship. And I'm like, words mean nothing, bro. Like, really, like you can say, I can say I should be an F1 driver. I should be in the contention with my fat ass, you know? But it means nothing. Like, it really means nothing.
In reality,
nothing,
can you do it?
Right. And that's the thing. We didn't see Daniel Ricciardo show any teeth, really, almost all season long, you know?
Yeah, but for this race, a few glimpses of the second, like glimpse of few laps, he's got some overtake.
Yeah, we saw him show some balls, man.
And he also, like, I didn't see anything. I mean, it's wrong to take Sonoda out, but in his case, I would like, I'm happy to see him do something like that, because he's taking risk. Even he knows how to take risk.
Yeah. Dude, no, it was nice to see some life out of Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I mean, like, you guys know, I'm not like big Daniel Ricciardo fan, but I don't hate Daniel Ricciardo as much.
Or as much as me, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, for me to see him, because I know he can drive when he's in Red Bull. He performs really well in Red Bull, but after Red Bull, it feels like he forgot how to drive a car.
Yeah.
So, like it's nice to see some life, it's nice to see some life in him still.
Yeah, it was exciting. I definitely gotta give it to him that wow.
I hope he can do I hope he can perform some more race and overtake for us next few.
Well, that's really race. The question again. Was the unique environment of the Mexican GP conducive to the McLaren performing better than it has? You know, realistically, because we have not seen Daniel be able to move like that thus far. So I wonder.
And he's really also on soft tire, so like his tire strategy is different than the other guys on the grid.
Yeah,
which is taking risks again.
yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, like that was very interesting. I was sad to see Fernando, go out with reliability issues.
Yeah,
the
engine, engine problem. Yeah,
because he was definitely mixing things up. He was doing his usual, I'm going to hold up the rest of the grid kind of maneuvers, you know.
Which is really fun to see as well. It's like,
it's such like a
you are
dick
Fernando
move.
Alonso.
Yeah, man. He's like, when you're stuck behind like miles of traffic in Los Angeles, and you're like, wait,
I'm just gonna go slow.
there's an accident, like there's got to be an accident, and you realize it's just some guy driving really slow up the front.
Yeah,
he's
that guy.
Yeah, that's Alonso, man. He's like, no, I'm just gonna ruin all these people's day. But and that's the thing.
Like, speaking,
him going out is what allowed Daniel Ricciardo to really get aggressive.
To really do,
yep.
But like one thing that I want to mention, actually one of the moment of highlights, my favorite, one of the moment in the race is where Ricciardo is racing Ocon. In that turn, like it's got tight turns.
Yeah.
And Ocon is brilliant defensively.
Yeah, he is a good defensive driver.
He like put his car in the middle of the fucking track and then he blocked everything up.
yeah, dude.
No. I mean, that's like that's for defensive driving, like racing. It's a perfect example of how Formula 1 drivers should do, like just maneuver your car and just strategy-wise, like defense in the outside of the racing line, inside the racing line, and all that stuff. It's fun to draw. It's fun to see.
yeah, most definitely. Let's see. Was there anybody else that really like surprised and impressed? I don't know. It felt like the midfield really didn't do much, with the exception of Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, I think. I mean, a surprise again is Gasly complained about his brake. And
dude, Gasly has been getting it with no lube for like the last few races.
And I think he's gonna get banned 2 races or 1 race next season.
Really?
The penalty point issue. I don't know how it works, but I heard from the radio that they say that he's gonna get banned, or maybe not. Maybe they'll just predict it that if he got another penalty next race, he's gonna get banned.
It feels like they're going for him for no particular reason. I mean, especially if we go back to Suzuka and him, being on the track with the crane or the tractor and everything. It's like, dude, review the footage. The tractor was out so there dangerous. Beforehand,
So dangerous.
And they've had this issue before. Like, they lost the driver to crashing into that thing. And they still brought it out with cars on the track, Yeah. Like, that should have been a red flag situation,
And then it was raining. Like...
Thank you.
Freaking railing.
Yeah, man, and like
it's not like the visibility is so clear. No, it's raining.
Yeah, like, dude, I don't know, man. I really think that like Gasly has been getting targeted lately. Like unfairly.
But aside from that, I don't see any other surprise.
Yeah. It's so interesting how the leaders were so impacted by the environment positively, and the midfield were so kind of blah in comparison, But I mean, that's what makes the Mexican GP interesting, man. Like, honestly.
Yeah, and next one is where? Sao Paulo?
Yeah, Sao Paulo.
Fingers crossed. I want to see Hamilton on the charge again.
Yeah. Oh, man. If we had Hamilton versus Verstappen in Sao Paulo Part 2, like a follow-up from last season would be really interesting.
It would be nice.
Would be really interesting. Hey. Don't bring up Abu Dhabi. Don't bring up Abu Dhabi. Don't bring up. Oh, my God. Please don't bring it up.
One of our friend actually threw his phone onto the TV because he watched Abu Dhabi Grand Prix last season.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we just found out about that. He got so pissed. Yeah. And I think a lot of us were on the fence of breaking stuff back then. So let's not bring it up.
Nope, definitely not.
All right, man. I think we're good there. We covered pretty much everything.
We covered, pretty much everything. Yeah.